Shall I start?
Someone is coming.
Okay.
Few more
I see a few people are coming. Yeah. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Namaskar. I'm Shelly Rahman, Mukta Alam's first cousin, and I live in Pennsylvania, outside Philadelphia. It's very hard that I have to come back within a year for another goodbye. So, but this is life. So, welcome everybody, and thanks to everybody for coming, because some of you have come from far, Virginia, New York, Texas, and friends and family from Iran. She's a lucky one that you all remember her. So there is some changes in the whole ceremony today, because after the service, we were going to bury her in the funeral ground, but that cannot be done because of the weather related. The land is not ready. So we'll have the funeral service, and then we'll say bye, farewell to her today. Okay? So thanks again for coming. So we will start with some prayer from our religious book, and then I will ask, because it's more sharing thoughts. That's the most important, because there is so many story, and if we hear from each other, we will feel good, because it's saying goodbye to her and also celebrating her life. So I'll come in between to say something, and Aminur Rahman, he's my husband. It happens to be he's my husband. But I'm asking him to start with a prayer. Okay, then many of you have expressed, I'll call you by name, but anybody wants to share something, please do it. We'd love to hear from you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Shelly. I did the same thing when Dr. Alam left this world. And so I'm doing it again for her, during saying goodbye to her now. The death of a loved one is a life-altering experience. Every person who experiences the loss of a loved one has their unique pain and a set of circumstances. In Islamic tradition, Muslims are encouraged to ponder on the death and the death of those loved ones each day. As prepared as some of us may be in the still challenging that grapple with the reality of no longer being those who dear to us. Islam is a rich in subject of death. There are many deeply compassionate teachings on how we are supposed to understand and treat death. At the root of every teaching is the understanding that we are returning to our Maker. Muslims believe that when human beings dies, their soul returns to their Creator, awaiting the day of judgment. In Islam, we can take solace in knowing that we will be uniting with those of our loved ones. That we have to believe that Miss Alam will meet Mr. Alam, Dr. Alam. And the death of just the beginning of the journey of our permanent home in hereafter. That's the belief we are. So what we will do today, as my wife told told me to do, is to recite a verse from the Quran, few verses from the Quran, and start the funeral service. So I will recite the same verses that I have recited during Dr. Alam's funeral gathering. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alif Lam Mim. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. نزل عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يدي وأنزل التوراة والإنجيل من قبل هدى للناس وأنزل الفرقان إن الذين كفروا بآيات الله لهم عذاب شديد والله عزيز ذو انتقام إن الله لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء والذي يصوركم في الأرحام وكيف يشاء لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم والذي أنزل عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يدي وأنزل التوراة والإنجيل فأما الذين كفروا في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء تأويله وما يعلم تأويله إلا الله وراسخون في علم يقولون آمنا به علم عند ربنا وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد صدق الله العلي العظيم. With that, we will prayer service. Are we doing prayer service now, Shelley? Okay.
Thank you. I don't understand Arabic, but still I felt very peaceful. Thank you. Muktapa was very close to us. I used to regularly talk to her, and the last few months and few weeks, almost every day I was in touch with. And before she went to the hospital, still I was on the telephone with her. Since Dr. Alam passed away, these 11 months was very challenging for her because Enver was there and Angelina, and you all know Angelina had some challenges. So her primary focus was Enver and Angelina till the last minute. You will hear more about those. And that's why she neglected herself, and this was pretty obvious. And she had just not Enver and Angelina, she was also very involved in taking care of relatives or people unknown, people who work household. Pretty much she was taking care of them. Just to give some example, the maid and the servant who was there from there, like when she was growing up, she provided them with housing. And she said, this is their retirement. We owe them. They took care of us. And there was one driver who used to help, and then she found out they need help. She bought a car for the driver so he can have his own taxi service. So those are the work she always did. And the last one, Muktapa and I worked together. It was about 4 weeks before she passed away. She called me and mentioned to me that we have a relative back home, not well, and Muktapa, Malapa, her sister, and Pasha, 3 of them used to provide every month for their household and her maid. And since brother has passed away and Malapa is not doing well, she was worried what will happen because that stopped. And she called me to say, do you know, she's worried that when she's not going to what will happen to them. She just mentioned, she says, we wish we had a fund for him and there will be income coming, at least minimum to. So I heard and I started thinking, and I don't know what happened. I called my sister back home, I called few, and you wouldn't believe, exactly like 10 days before, we created a fund. And we had a minimum requirement fund, and I collected and I told her, she said, well, how much is left? And I said, this is how much. I said, okay, I'll cover that, and the fund will be there. So that's the last thing we did together, and it was 10 days before she passed away. So you can imagine. So now, she has very close friend, and often I will hear, like Veena's name was often she mentioned too. You all know Veena Mangil. Did I say it? Mangil, okay. So I will ask, because the last day when she was very sick, I figured it out. Her voice was, I had to find Veena. And the way I found Veena's telephone number by calling Bangladesh, because Shirin Siddiq was there, and she says, I'm Bangladesh. I said, this is Veena's number, and she gave the details. She's at work now. So, and the minute Veena heard from me, she was in charge and she took care. So Veena, will you please share some thought? Okay.
I never knew the time will come so soon that we have to talk about her. I could not believe till today that she is gone. Her voice is still echoing in my ears. We used to talk and we used to discuss so many problems each other. I don't know. Life is really weird. But I am sure she is in good hands. So I just pray for her and for her family. And Anwar is very nice. And he's really brave. When I heard from him that he's really getting strong. And God gave strength to him to just bear the loss of his mom and take care of Angelina. Thank you.
Thanks, Veena. And you all know that Mukta left Mukta was 84, but she will be missed for her contribution. It's not that we were taking care of her. So Enver and Angelina will be facing many challenges, and they will need our support. They will do fine, I know. Enver is really thinking. I'd like now Usha Kulkarni. Usha was another person, because Veena was at work. Veena immediately contacted Usha, and I was amazed, and she was right there. And she has a lot to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk. Good morning. Namaste. Salam alaikum. So I have been knowing for Mukta last 29 years. So she is a very inspiring woman, and she has a great love with the family, and she showed the pure love for her husband, Anand, and Dadi. She is a mother, wife, and Dadi. So she has a tremendous love for all of these people, and she has showed more love Anand. She cannot get anything from Anand. He has so much love, then he cannot do everything permission from the Mukta. And the same love she showed for the Angelina. And she has a lot of love, and she is a courageous woman. She has strong-minded after Dr. Alam's death. I was talking for maybe twice a month, not every day, but twice a month I used to talk with her. She used to talk all the times about Anwar and Angelina, and she lost her brother, and she was sick sister. She always worried about Sister Mala. And I asked her, you should not worry about this one. Everybody has a life. Life is a vicious circle. Life and death, it will come. It is vicious circle. Whatever the time comes, people will go. Whatever the life we have to enjoy. So then she was a strong woman, and she was taking Angelina after Dr. Alam is passed away. She was taking, it is very challenging job for her. And even though she has people surrounding her to help, but mentally she has to be very strong. Then I used to talk with her, and then the last moment, give you the opportunity for the Veena, I will give you thank you for the Veena. She asked me to go and see for the Mukta. Then the last moment, Anand wanted to go and give the food for Angelina. She talked with me 50 minutes last moment. She talked about the Mala, and she talked about her brother. She talked about Dr. Alam, Angelina, Anand. And she talked about her floor. Then she was talking about me, so I don't know if I will go, then who is going to take care of Angelina? Because what happened, before Anwar called to the emergency, she denied. She didn't want to go to the emergency. Then I told her, Mukta, you don't worry about this one, Angelina, you should go to the emergency. Doctor will take care for as much as possible. You will be better. Then I don't know whether I did the right thing or bad thing, but so I gave her suggestion, and by the time Veena also came, she also gave the suggestion. Then before, when I was there, Anand was feeding the milk, ensure milk. He was drinking in the glass, he was not drinking one sip. Then my husband suggested, why not you can give with a straw? Then I put the bottle, put the milk in the straw, I fed her a whole glass of milk. Then Anand Anand told, my mom is looking better. Then I said, yes. Then you go get the food. Then Anand's Mukta was talking for everything detailed. Then she told she wants to go to the bathroom. Then she told, I took her bathroom. She wanted to lock the door. I told Mukta, you cannot lock the door. She was standing for 2 minutes. She want to lock the door. But I was also stubborn. She was also stubborn. I was holding for the door outside. She was checking whether I locked the door. I told Mukta, I cannot give you to lock the door. She went to the bathroom. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I was with this one. She did not respond. I slowly opened the door. Mukta, you are okay, I can come inside. Okay, Usha, you can come, I cannot get up. Then I helped her for the whatever things. Then I hold the hand, she came back. And Veena came, Veena told me, you can go to the emergency. But Mukta told, okay, then that's fine. She went, she looked for the Angelina for the last moment. Really, it was very sad. Whatever thing, Veena gave me the opportunity to talk with her, Mukta, and whatever things last moment, she drank with holding my hands, she drank the milk last moment. I was so happy, whatever things I can do, that is for the last moment. So whatever things I can share, this is my last moment of Mukta's discussion. She cherished a lot of the, her Bangladesh, her sisters, brothers, everything. But one thing she told, my sister was calling me so many times, should I call? Then I told, you should call. I can give you the phone. But she told, no, right now I don't want to call. When I will come back, I will call. She told me. Then she didn't come. Sorry, that one, it was with Mukta, and I have discussion.
Usha, thank you. That was Muktapa. I always call her Muktapa. She always was thinking about somebody else. Till the last minute, her priority was Angelina. Even I remember when I was telling her on the phone, go to emergency 911, he's here, why don't you? No, I can't, I will be fine, I can take care of it. But that's, yeah. Now I'd like to, Mukul Siddiqui, if you would like to say something. And after that, I didn't ask everybody, you're all welcome to share. Okay. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. A day like this is very difficult to say anything, and I'm not sure where to begin. Especially for the family, how difficult it is to bear the loss of anyone, and especially if it happens to be your mother. I know how my son Enver would feel, what Enver you are feeling right now. But we are not here to talk about the grief and the loss, which you will all have to share, either today, tomorrow, or day after. Let's celebrate her life, what she has enjoyed, what she meant for the community, what she meant for her family. Many years ago, my mother came to visit here, and her mother was here too. And they struck a conversation, and they found out they happened to be distant cousins, very distant, of course. And I wouldn't be able to even explain how distant it was, but I know they were. So we have some kinship regarding that. So what was most striking about her, which I really found out not too long ago, that was last year, when Dr. Alam, he got sick, very debilitated. He had severe bleeding in his brain. And a point came when the physicians realized there was no turning back. It's downhill. There is not much of hope. And he was put on life support system. And that's the time she called me, not once, several times, and we had a discussion about end of life, because the doctors were telling that they should discontinue the life support system for Alam Bhai. But she just could not accept it. So we talked probably like a couple of days back and forth, and then finally I said, Muktapa, I have written a chapter which is going to be in my book about end of life and when to discontinue life support system and all that. So he said, you just send it over to me. So I sent it over to her. She read it and she said, finally, I realize what I have to do. And then she said, you know what? He was not only my husband, he's the only thing as if I knew as a human, because they were cousin, and because of that, obviously, they knew each other for a long time. He says, he was my husband, my friend. I cannot think of how I'm going to survive if he's gone. And that was the difficult decision she had to make at that time. And then finally, after talking with her and all the information, she finally conceded. She said, all right, we'll let her go. And I told her that when the real time comes, if his life support system is discontinued, call me. So she did. And my wife, who is here, and we rushed to the hospital, and she was in the room, only just two of us. And within about 30, 40 minutes being there, Dr. Alam breathed his last. And she is very stoic, even though she had tremendous love for her husband, and I'm sure it goes down to the children and grandchildren. And says, and I could sense that she felt like there was not much of anything for her to keep her alive. And then, not too long thereafter, she started losing weight, and she called me again. He says, I'm losing a lot of weight. I eat. But he says, but I'm not sure why. So, it's possible it could be depression because your husband has passed away. He says, anyway, so I directed her to get some tests done, like colonoscopy, and with the results, nothing really showed up. It says, fine, One other thing I can think of, had a biopsy of her thyroid gland or do an ultrasound. Nothing showed up, and here we are, and I don't even know what she finally succumbed to. But I know that, Muktapa, you couldn't wait any longer to meet your beloved, your husband, and your friend. And all I can say, rest in peace. Your Lord is waiting for you with extended arm and warm bosom. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Dr. Siddiqui, we didn't know how you help her to end Dr. Alam's life. I'm very touched. And they were cousins. They knew each other from childhood, and to be honest, like all the cousins, the way we are close, we all grew up and knew. And since you mentioned Dr. Alam, and I have to mention something because we knew him. He never called me by my name. Even when she passed away 15 days ago on the telephone, he called me Petni. Don't ask me what Petni is. But that was the name he called me forever, never by my name. Hey Petni, ki korish? That was the last thing I heard from him on the telephone 15 days before he had the stroke. So that's how Yeah, and it is true. Muktapa was strong, and she wanted to be strong, but inside, she was feeling his absence, like, which she should have shared. It would have helped her, but she never shared it with. So now I will, because Muktapa was very close to her nieces and nephew, so 4 of them are here, and I will ask any order you want, please share some thought, and then I will ask Ananda to come. Okay? You all 4 can come together, if that helps. Mhm.
Hi, everybody. My name's Rossi Amin, and I'm Muktafupi's nephew. And I'm sorry we have to meet like this again, so soon after my uncle's passing. But Muktafupi, she was a wonderful woman. She was highly intelligent, very, very caring, compassionate, and forgiving person. I have very fond memories of her. She basically came to me soon after my birth, like the same day or the next day in Bangladesh. So she's somebody that I've known my whole life, and we talked often. We talked about movies, politics, everything, really. And I'm going to miss having those conversations. But I will hold dear all the fond memories I have of her. And I know that she's going to be in a better place with her husband, mother, brother, brother-in-law, and many others. So, thank you all. Goodbye.
So thank you all for coming again. I definitely did not want to be up here, and I'll keep it real brief. We knew her as Kalama, which is aunt in our language, and I didn't even know she had a name till I was like 7 years old. We were at the Belk, it was the 90s, and I lost her for like a couple of minutes, and in my head, I panicked, because I'm like, I've only known her as Kalama, and I know that means aunt. If I go to the security guard and ask him, can you find my aunt, he's not gonna understand. But luckily, we were reunited shortly, so I didn't have to do that. But, you know, she was my aunt. She was an educator. She was a provider, a teacher, scholar, friend to a lot of folks. So it's really great to see these other perspectives. Yeah, she will be missed. And, you know, Kalu, which is my uncle in our language, they're gonna be together. There's always a Kalmana Kalu. That's how I always knew them, as one unit, one pair. And just check on my cousin from time to time. She would want that.
Thanks. The nieces, they're not ready. And I understand. Ananda also cannot say much. Tapa was, you mentioned the politics. That was another thing. She loved to talk about politics. She was liked to talk about literature, Bengali literature. Tagore was one of Rabindranath Tagore. She took lesson. She was a good singer. I do not know whether you ever heard. Never? She was classical music, and she performed. And she was, when she was in the university, I remember I'm in school, there will be so many events. She will sing and she also performed. She acted. I remember 2 or 3. She was the heroine and she performed in their annual thing. And her counterpart, one gentleman, was Mustafa Kamal, and he became one of the very well-known actor in Bangladesh, movie actor. And before he became a movie actor, he performed with Muktapa. So that's, those are, and then politics, she always will think that Pennsylvania is failing. All the little crisis, what are you guys doing? So that was another thing. So since she was very fond of Tagore's song, Rabindra Sangeet, I will request with Charna Sengupta, yeah, oh, there is, I'm kind of here. If you please come and. She's a good.
Hello. No words can express my sorrow. Now Muktadi is in peace. আমি ওনার আত্মার শান্তি কামনা করি। And I hope Ananda will find strength to bear this unbearable pain. I will take shelter in Tagore's songs. A song of prayer and offering. ধাই যেন মোর সকল ভালোবাসা প্রভু তোমার পানে তোমার পানে তোমার পানে ধাই যেন মোর সকল ভালোবাসা প্রভু তোমার পানে তোমার পানে তোমার পানে যাই যেন মোর সকল গভীর আশা প্রভু তোমার কানে তোমার কানে তোমার কানে চিত্ত মম যখন যেথা থাকে সারা যেন দেয় সে তব ডাকে চিত্ত মম যখন যেথা থাকে সারা যেন দেয় সে তব ডাকে যত বাঁধন সব টুটে গো যেন প্রভু তোমার টানে তোমার টানে তোমার টানে বাহিরে রে ভিক্ষা ভরা থালি এবার যেন নিঃশেষে হয় খালি অন্তর মোর গোপনে যায় ভরে প্রভু তোমার দানে তোমার দানে তোমার দানে হে বন্ধু মোর হে অন্তর তর এ জীবনে যা কিছু সুন্দর হে বন্ধু মোর হে অন্তর তর এ জীবনে যা কিছু সুন্দর সকলি আজ বেজে উঠুক সুরে প্রভু তোমার গানে তোমার গানে তোমার গানে ধাই যেন মোর সকল ভালোবাসা প্রভু তোমার পানে তোমার পানে তোমার পানে থ্যাংক ইউ
That was outstanding. And I'm not good translating, but if we knew, we could have Googled it. And but the song is a prayer, and it's almost like Mukta is praying to God that this is the, yes, that's what, yeah. It's a prayer for all of us, like, God help us, this is our life. I'm sorry I'm not good in, if I, yeah. Like, it's almost praying, like, please God help me, give me mercy, all, yeah, that's what the whole song is.
All about life.
All about life, yeah. It's Tagore, so how do you expect me to translate that? Yeah, it's an offering to God on behalf of Mukta, yeah. Will you please come, yeah, to say something? Yes, come here, I will, yeah. Introduce yourself, you go to university, you can introduce yourself, that will be good.
Yeah, I'm Kulvinder Kaur Walker. I have known Mrs. Bilquis Alam, as I used to call her, since 1996. When I joined Elizabeth City State University in 1996, I started teaching statistic courses to social sciences students. And Bilquis Alam, she was already working in that department. So we used to wait for each other. If I'm in the class, she would wait for me to come out and say hello. And the kind of connection that we developed early on, it was so spiritual. We won't talk much, as somebody mentioned earlier, she won't gossip. She was very simple-hearted, very loving, compassionate person. I never heard anything negative coming out of her mouth. When other faculty members would talk about, sometime about administration, this, that, but she never said a word negative about anybody. Our long association, and though we did not have long meetings, those brief meetings kind of, I'm going speechless when I think about her, the beautiful character she had. It's so hard to carry on the kind of persona she had, and even Dr. Alam, both being such lovely people. They made a beautiful couple in terms of their persona. They were so gentle in their thoughts. I remember once I visited them, and she knew I was vegetarian, but I'm always very concerned about, when I'm offered any food, if I'm not sure it's pure vegetarian, I kind of decline in a nicer way. And I was declining. I think it was some kind of dessert, and she sensed that. And she quickly brought the label to me. And she said, I read the label. So these are the ingredients in there. I say, oh my God, you are so thoughtful. You have gone extra mile for me. You see, whatever, I think me and my mother were visiting her then. And so that, she was Mrs. Bilquis Alam, as others call her Mukta Alam, but I always refer to her as Mrs. Bilquis Alam. So to Anand, you know how much your parents been loved. They have given so much love to people around them. Their students love them. They always talk highly of them. See, some students will say some good things about me, but there will be many saying negative things about me as well. But I haven't heard anyone saying anything negative about your father or your mother. So they have set the stage for you, So as they have given love to people, all of us, so we love you the same way, and we will keep loving you. So if you need any one of us, we will be right there, just a call away, right? So thank you, in peace.
Thanks, Dr. Walker. You did describe she was always thinking about somebody else. I was given the translation of Jonas. She sang it so well, yeah. I'll just briefly, it's a, may all my love flow, Lord, towards you, you only. May all my deep desire, Lord, be acceptable to you. And that's when she was thinking in back, translation doesn't do that job. Her song was doing, it was very touching, yeah. So that it ends, whatever is beautiful in this life, let every note in it resonate, Lord, in your song. And that's what, every word was resonating, whatever is beautiful in life. Thank you, Charna. We are almost coming to the close. Anybody else wants to say something? Okay. Then we will, since we are not going to the burial ground, the janaza will be here. But before that, if anybody wants to pay last respect to Bilquis Alam, please feel free to come and do it, because after the janaza, we'll close the cascade, and that will be the end. So please pay your last respect for her. Anybody wants to? Yeah. Where is Anand? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come and pay your last before he starts the janaza. not this, I think this is not this here. Okay. You want to start there from there? Okay. That's fine, yeah. And this is the last janaza. Usually we do in the graveyard, but we are going to do it here. And everybody has to stand up. Stand up. Yes.
You want to call them?
No, this is okay.
We all should.
Come this side.
This side, all of us. Yes. You can line up parallel to the cascade.
You can sit.
You can also sit if you have a problem, yeah. Oh, microphone. I think it's, you don't need. যে একটা বোধ হয় ওইটা নেওয়া যাবে না Can you take- oh, there it is. ওখানে
It's working, right? Yeah.
it's working.
Just to give a little, janaza prayer is, the last prayer is a very short, so it has a 4 takbir, which we know that we said Allahu Akbar. Then followed by I will recite myself in my, not loudly, the Surah Fatiha, then we have the Durud Sharif, and that's it. After that, if you want to make some comments, you can make in your, but it has to be quietly in your heart, thanking her, thanking the Lord, thanking Bilquis to what she did in her life. So with that, we'll end the janaza prayer. So I will stand here. Every time I say, since there's a 4th takbir, every time I say, you don't have to say anything, just raise your head and bow it down. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. That's it. Now, I think a couple of our young people will close the casket.
Oh, I'll give you.